Pumpkin pie. It's that time of year. It's in the fall. It's the 1st of November now. It's a beautiful Sunday morning early, right after the time change. I'm not even sure what time it is. I think it's 4 or maybe 5 o'clock. I don't know. It don't matter. My body time never changes. So, if I'm getting up 2 days ago at one time, I'm going to wake up the same time today. I don't go by the clock. So anyway, let me get back with you and we'll get this dough started. I'll show you just a segment of the dough. I'm using pre-made dough. Yeah, the old is going to take it easy on this. And yes, I'm using Walmart brand pre-made dough. There's two pie doughs per box. You can refrigerate it. Pull it out of the refrigerator about 15 minutes before you're going to use it. Not much longer because you want it cold. And there's not much to this. It's just early, and I'll do a video on making handmade pie crust one of these days. Well, shoot. I say it's easy. Let me open this up a little better. There it is. Alright. So what you want to do is just unwrap it off itself. It's pretty easy to do, not too bad. Even a beginner, this is the way a beginner needs to learn to cook pies. Don't struggle with making the pie crust and doing the pies all in one day. Because if you're doing pie crust, you need to take and make your dough and put it in the refrigerator for a couple of hours, at least 25 minutes or so. So anyway, here's what I do. I know it's going to go down in like the middle of this. Let's take and wrap around the back side here because, come on up here, baby. There you go. That makes it kind of simple. And then you can kind of push it down inside. And you're sure going to notice that I am using a cake pan, because when I went to Walmart, they were out of disposable pie pans. So, believe it or not, it'll bake just the same. So your extra crust here that's hanging over, you can cut it off, sprinkle some sugar and cinnamon on it and let it bake. But what I just take it, this is what my mother always did. She would take, because her crusts were handmade, she'd make the crust the day, but well, she'd make the dough the day before and let it sit in the fridge wrapped up. So she'd take and put it on her pie pan. She never used disposable, it's always glass. Maybe some metal pans, I can't remember, too many years ago. Anyway, you just take and roll it under, just like she did, like I'm showing you. You'll understand why here in just a minute. Now, if this was a pie plate, it would flute out at the top, pie pan, I should say, and you could lay this crust over on the top. But since I don't have a pie pan, I have cake pans. They're kind of straight walls. I just take and go around this side and kind of push it in up against here. It's going to be good either way. It don't matter. Once you put whipped cream on top of this baby, oh man, you can care what the top crust looks like. So anyway, I just kind of take and pinch it in between my little fat fingers here. It's going to look rustic, and that's going to be great. There's nothing wrong with a rustic looking pie. Matter of fact, people kind of prefer that. It says, oh man, that pie looks so good. Because it doesn't look like it was made by, stamped out by some machine somewhere. I remember making a apple tart. I had made the dough for it, and I'm gonna prick the bottom of it just so because I don't pre-bake these, just so if it gets any heat under it, it won't rise up the top. Just prick some holes in it. That's all. Anyway, I did a rustic apple tart one time, and literally just took and laid out the dough on a flat baking pan put all my ingredients. I put cinnamon and sugar and apples, and I can't remember, not much, no flour in it. I don't use any flour for thickening. Just pushing up my edge here a little better. And then put all my apples and stuff in them, and then I took and folded over the edges. This is how you do a tart. Fold it back over the edge of the filling, maybe about an inch. It's baked flat. And I baked that, I think, at about 400 degrees for 15 or 20 minutes. Then I turned it down to low for about 30 minutes on 300. So it would just cook it all the way. And when it came out, it was beautiful golden brown, and the apples were brown. Oh my God, it was great. Making me hungry, and that was for a Thanksgiving dinner that lots of people were coming to. And they just said, man, who made this rustic apple tart? I mean, people loved it. And I think the number one thing it was drawn to, because it did look rustic. I mean, it was handmade, but it just had the look. Anyway, I'm gonna get these pie in, I'm gonna put them in my oven here in just a little bit. I'm gonna stick them to the side, and I'm gonna get started on the filling. All right, let's get this pie out of the way here, this pie crust. I'm making a double batch, because you can see I've got 2 pie crusts. The recipe that I'll have posted, though, is for one single pie. Not everybody's going to do a double batch of pies, but I am today. So I'm going to put my wet ingredients in. I've got 6 eggs. I would have used 2 if they were large eggs. And they say they're large, but it must be small chickens they come from. So they are not real large eggs. So I put an extra egg in there. It will not hurt the recipe. I've got 2 sticks of butter, and the recipe for this will be listed in my video. Right off the bat, there's a recipe. So make sure we get all this butter out of here. Ding! Big fan here. All right. Got 2 cups of brown sugar. It doesn't need a lot of sugar because we're going to add sweetened condensed milk. A lot of people call it Eagle brand. That's what my mother always used. We didn't have a Walmart back then, so. And you want to get every bit of this goodness out of here. I remember when my mother and I'd be in the kitchen helping her bake, and my sister was playing with Barbies, and my brother was playing on the guitar in the other house, and Dad was in Dallas at his work, and so I'd be in the kitchen. It's funny, I'd be out in the barn working with cows, and then I'd come in the kitchen and help Mother bake. So she would get through with this Eagle brand, and I would always want the can. And take your finger at this. I mean, this stuff is like goodness gold here. Sweet. Oh my goodness, it's sweet. If you've never had Eagle brand milk or sweetened condensed milk, you don't understand. But it's real sweet stuff, and it's thick. That's the reason I'm not adding a lot of sugar to this recipe. Trying to keep the sugar down in it, because believe me, Eagle brand has a lot. So Mother would give me this can, and I would just take and clean it out with my finger. Oh man, that's so good. So I always said once I got big, I got on my own, I was gonna buy me a whole can of Eagle brand milk and eat it, just the milk. Well, I did, and I don't think I ate any Eagle brand for a long time after that. I made myself, I didn't get sick, but I didn't need any more of it anyway. So I'm just going to kind of combine everything together. There's no pumpkin in here. There's no spices. The room temperature butter is melting in good. Everything's at room temperature, as a matter of fact. All right. So This is pumpkin puree. Just pumpkin. That's it. No specials and no sugars. Don't get pumpkin pie filling and expect to make this. I don't know how it would be, but I think it'd be way too sweet. I don't know. Pumpkin pie filling has a bunch of stuff put in it, and I don't even know what it's got in it. I've never used it. A friend of mine makes fried pies, and she uses it in her fried pies, pumpkin fried pies. So I can get every bit of this goodness out of here. Oh, goodness. This is good stuff. And you can buy the expensive brands of this pumpkin puree. I don't even know who makes it. I just buy Wally World. It's good because you're putting other stuff in it. You will never know the difference, I promise. So anyway, there's that part. You want pumpkin spice. There's about, in this container, there is about 2 tablespoons. I'm going to put this whole container in here. And then maybe another half. Got a new one here. Yep. And get the lid open on it. This used to not be a problem. We didn't have all, growing up, we had milk that just had a lid on it. I mean, they would deliver it in a glass bottle. There were no safety seals, but the world has changed so much. And not for the good in that way. The world has changed, and it's cost us thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, not thousands of dollars, it's cost us millions of dollars for safety seals, and gosh, just it's craziness is all I can say. So I'm going to put about another half a tablespoon in. Like I say, this is for 2 pies, and the instructions are, I'll have the instructions on the video, the exact for 1 pie. Now I'm going to just put a touch of cinnamon. I mean, not a lot, just a hair. Make sure I'm putting cinnamon, not powdered garlic or something. So you just want to combine this. I'll bring you back when I get this combined. All right. I've got this really combined really good. You'll see there's a few flakes of butter in here. Well, that's not going to hurt a thing. The main thing is getting your cinnamon and your spices mixed in, the pumpkin spice seasoning, and get your pumpkin mixed in good. The little pieces of butter will not hurt a thing. So let me get these pie plates up here. Go around one more time, kind of flute the edge where they're still nice and cool. This will bake up into a beautiful pie. I've got my oven preheating at 425, and I'm going to cook these at 425 for about 15 minutes. And then I'm going to go in and turn down the oven setting until it's about a little under 350. Every oven cooks differently, so you know how your oven cooks. If you can set it on 350, but just watch it. And it's going to cook for about 35 to 45 minutes, maybe even an hour. And you'll know when it's cooked. It'll be rising up in the middle. I don't have a fancy camera to put in the oven, but it'll rise up in the middle, and then it'll kind of go back down. And if you shake the pan, you'll see it's kind of set on the sides. And when it's done, you can take a knife and insert it into the center, and it will be completely done when the knife comes out clean. All right, I got to stand up for this. will tell you if there's extra filling left. Do this other off camera here. That's no problem. I've got a couple of ramekins that I'm going to butter. And we'll do a crustless pumpkin pie in those. That's my favorite deal anyway. I love the pie centers more than I like the crust. And the crust is okay. No, don't get me wrong. Alright, let's see. A little bit more over here. You do not want to overfill this because it's going to rise a little bit because of those eggs. I think that's got it. All right. Get some of this stuff out of the way. There's a little bit left in here, not a lot. I've got this old foil pan that I've had for years. Get the camera up so you can see it, what I'm doing here. I've got this old, should say foil pan. I've got this foil line pan I've had for years. I do nothing but bake on it. It's crusty and rusty, and it's not rusty, but it's crusty. No way I can get all that stuff off. So I'm gonna put everything on the pies on it. If they explode, no problem. If it goes over, no problem. All right. So put it on your. I tell you, you got to put it on something because these pies will rise, the filling will, and it'll make a mess. So be sure and put it on something to catch it if it does. Let me put these in the oven and I'll bring you back here in just a little bit. All right, I've got this ramekin because I've got a little bit left, and I'm sure not going to waste it. No way, no how. Let's see here. A little bit of butter. Just going to get a little butter here. Enough to coat the inside, just a little. You can make crustless pies like this. Get you a pie pan, make this same recipe, and butter your pan or spray your pan with release or whatever you got. And just bake it about the same time. 425 for about 15 minutes. Put it on lower, about 350, and watch it. When you can insert a toothpick or a knife or whatever in the center of this, and it comes out clean, you know it's ready. And it may be, I say when it comes out clean, it may be still a little bit jiggly. Even though it's coming out clean, that's fine. Turn your oven off and open the door and just let them finish cooking. The residual heat will set that pie. Believe me, I know. All right, let's see here. All right. This will make a nice little dessert for my wife and I this afternoon, this evening. Get all this goodie out of here. Yeah, this is some good stuff, boys and girls. And you can taste that mixture before you add the eggs in. You can taste it after you add the eggs in if you don't have a problem with it, if you're not worried about it. If you got fresh eggs out of the hen house or whatever, that's a good way to do it. To see if you've got enough sugar. I did taste this. I didn't do it. I didn't show you I was tasting it, but I did. I tasted it a little touch on my finger. Once I had the eggs in. These eggs have been in the fridge. They're cold. I've never gotten sick from eggs. Of course, there's always a first time. I may be sick as a dog this afternoon, but I think I'll be okay though. Just gonna get this off. Cleaned it up a little bit. You know, we all eat with our eyes first. So, all right, now we're gonna gild the lily. Make it special. Special. Yeah. Good thing I checked. It's ground mustard. It's burning. I grabbed the wrong run. It's a good thing I was paying attention. I don't think ground mustard would be very good on top here. So this is the pumpkin pie spice. And a little cinnamon. Just because. Just because I like cinnamon. All right, I'm gonna put this in the oven on a rack below my big boys. It's got a long ways. I don't think it'll ever rise up. And if it's rising up above this, it's already cooked enough to set. So everybody's in their little bed. I've got about 10 more minutes to go on the 425, and then I'll reduce the heat. Bring y'all back later. Maybe I should explain. This is early November and I'm making pumpkin pies. Well, one thing is that I wanted to show the people that's never made a pumpkin pie. It's really easy and it's good, and they can be frozen. That's where these two are going. They're going in the freezer until closer to Thanksgiving. And my wife and I will never eat 2 pumpkin pies. We'll give some away to our friends and neighbors. Also, tomorrow, which will be Monday, I'm going to do sweet potato pies. It's actually my favorite of the two. I love sweet potato pie. There is a difference in the amount of items that you put in the sweet potato and how you make it. So if you like sweet potato pie, be sure and tune in for that. And I'll give you a tutorial, as they call it, how the old dude bakes sweet potato pie. It's yummy. I used to go to a place in Denton, Texas. There's a barbecue place years ago called Steve's. I think I have a picture of it. I'll put it up. It's a little striped building, small. I mean, you could barely walk in. And when you walked in, the tables and everything had smoke touched to them. And he had the best. We had great barbecue, but he had the best sweet potato pie, little ones. Oh my God, they were big. And you could buy the big ones, of course, at Thanksgiving. And like a lot of barbecue places, it went up in smoke one day and never was rebuilt. It was a great place. So bring y'all back in a couple of hours. All right, let's see. Timer's fixing to go off 1 minute. Let's see. I believe that little custard, crustless, is ready. Oh yeah, it's ready. But I can tell you, these boys are not. I could see the jiggle on the top. Let's see if we can make them jiggle. Oh yeah. So the custard's coming out, and the 2 big pies are going to get some more suntan for about 15 more minutes maybe. I'll bring you back then. Let's see if I can cut it into this. Oh yeah. Hard to do this and drive the camera at the same time, but oh yeah, it'll peel right out of there, no problem. It still has to cool down. We got just about time up on the. Go ahead and turn that off. Let's see if these are jiggling. You should be able to check around the outside edge. And it should come out clean. It's doing it. It's doing it. Let's see, let me shake it a minute. Shake it, shake it, shake. Shake it, shake, shake, shake your booty. Alright, she's ready. Ready, boys and girls. Boy, those look great. And yes, they do look rustic, and that means they're good. You see the indentions on the top? That's because of all the butter I put into it. Yeah, it's gonna be great, boys and girls. And get these back in here so I don't burn myself. I'll get in here and turn off the oven and let those set for a little bit. Well, welcome back. The pies are out. Turn this camera around over so you can see these baby boys. Yeah, they're still hot. Like red hot. Get these up here so you can see them better. I don't want to get burned. But they're totally set. And to me, they look beautiful. Yeah, they're rustic looking because the crust was baked in a cake pan. But to be honest, that just makes them look better. They're set. No jiggle. They're still warm. They're still cooking. And I would love to take a slice out of one of these and put some whipped cream on it, but these are going to be frozen and given away to friends close to Thanksgiving, so that ain't going to happen. But what is going to happen, that ramekin that I baked, we're going to taste it because it's the same energy as those. All right, let's see here. It's still hot, but all right, let's see here. It's set really good. I should have get me some whipped cream, and I love to make homemade whipped cream, but I got it in the squirt bottle right now, so. Man, dang. If I hadn't just finished breakfast, I'd eat this whole thing, and then my wife would get a little, I started saying pissy. My wife would get a little upset because I told her we could have this evening for just dessert. So I'm gonna let it go with one bite, because boy, it's really good. Follow this recipe, it will be great. And yes, you can freeze these pies. Just wrap them up really good in saran wrap. Because you're gonna label the date and everything that you want on them. Maybe they're for your family and you just don't want to cook Thanksgiving Day to do all of this. That's why I'm doing these recipes early. And be sure to label it on the outside. And once it's saran wrap and once these are cooled, and then you put the saran wrap on, then aluminum foil. Let them set in the refrigerator for a day until they really set good, and then put them in the freezer. Well, thank you, boys and girls, for being part of the Old Dudes world. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Leave me a comment. I know all the countries that I'm in, some of those countries don't have Thanksgiving. I'm not sure what they celebrate, and even if they like pumpkin pie, I think pumpkin is liked all worldwide, but I'm not sure how it's cooked. Or I see them take off the tops of the pumpkin and bake them, the whole pumpkin, and make soups inside of those. So anyway, thank you for being part of the Old Dudes world. Like, share, and comment. I do appreciate it. See you on the next video. How to make sweet potato pie. And these are righteous pies. Yum.